Today we are driving the new 2024 Audi A6 45 Premium Plus. But as always, let me give you a brief tour of this car before we get it out on the road and see how this luxury sedan handles the streets. Starting out with the exterior, you'll find a very bold design on this A6. We have the black optics package, which is going to black out the grille and the Audi logo. With the Mythos black metallic paint, you're going to find a full black on black look. You'll have the typical slim Audi key fob, and the headlights are going to be full LED on every A6 model. No fog lights will be included. The black optics package will get you these 20-inch alloy wheels, and for the Premium Plus, you'll get these fully loaded mirrors. If you've owned an A6 in the past, you'll recognize the shape, and the black optics package will actually make the stance a little bit lower than the regular model. Taking a look at the back, you'll have fully blacked out trim with the blacked out Audi logo, and you'll have a power trunk on the executive package like we have today. Opening it up, you'll find 13.7 cubic feet of cargo room, which isn't bad but a little bit less than the 5 Series and E-Class. Of course, you'll find a cubby on the left side. Now let's take a look at the back seat because that is the reason why you'd buy an A6 in the first place. And I'm happy to say you have plenty of room back here. Now getting in is pretty easy and I sit very comfortably behind the driver's seat. Now there is also a netted seat pocket and 4 zones of climate control, so you can control the temperature and the fan speed on either side. You also get 3 stages of heated seats. This is a very advanced 4-zone climate control because you can control everything on either side. The only thing that you can't control is whether it's on or off. And here is a quick peek of what we're about to get into up front. So let's go ahead and do that. Opening up the door, you'll find great materials on the door panel. You'll find open port wood trim, aluminum, and leather on your armrest. The seats will be 12-way power adjusting and they will be made of real leather. Getting inside, you do have to duck down a little bit and it might be unpleasant for taller people. Of course, you're going to find Audi's virtual cockpit system on every A6 model. This is something that you really want to make sure that you have if you buy an Audi. Now the steering wheel will also be heated and you also have a key fob holder, which is very clever. So you're going to find 3 screens up front. The bottom screen is for your dual zone climate control in the front area. You'll find a main display above that supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. While it is relatively responsive, it could use an update sometime soon. You also get navigation, which surprisingly some manufacturers are deleting from their vehicles, and taking a look at materials, you'll find real open port wood trim, lots of gloss black, and when it comes to the shifter, it is electronic. But when you put it in reverse, you'll find a very high resolution backup camera and a very cool 3D view. This is something that some people can't live without, and Audi is making sure to integrate it with a lot of their vehicles. But here is the disappointing part about the A6. You don't get that much space in the center console, and besides 2 cup holders, there's no more storage anywhere else in the front area. You'll find a standard size sunroof up top, but I don't know about you, I'm ready to get this thing out on the road, so let's wrap up this brief tour and hit the streets in this Audi A6. So first impressions of riding in the Audi A6, this drives like a proper luxury sedan. The ride quality is smooth, the seats are great, and the visibility is not too bad. Also, we have the black optics package, which is going to lower the car by about 22mm, and I'm not noticing anything bad with that. The only bad thing about that is that it's pretty hard to get in and out of this car. So taking a deep dive into ride quality, we are going over a pretty bumpy road right now and my camera is at the regular setting. And this A6 is actually pretty smooth. Now, if you got the 19-inch alloy wheels, that would make it a little bit more smooth, but even though we have these 20-inch alloy wheels, it's not bad. And the ride quality is on par with something like a Mercedes E-Class or BMW 5 Series. Definitely no complaints with the ride quality, and overall it's a very comfortable car to be in. So we are not going to be going anywhere fast on this test drive route. For some cars like Audi and Porsche, they're all in the same area. We can't really go anywhere fast because this is not a very fast road. But I have no complaints about wind noise. Now, we're only going like 30 miles per hour, but it is raining pretty hard that the wipers have to go at a continuous rate. So even with the rain, it still is pretty quiet inside of here. And also, I want to say that the wipers are doing their job. The automatic wipers work really well, and if you're at a stoplight or something like that, or you're completely stopped, it will actually slow down just a little bit so that you get the appropriate wiper speed that you need at a certain time. Now, the little attention to detail, things like that, make this car a pretty good pick in this segment. So let's go ahead and take off and do our acceleration test. Okay, that was not too bad. Today we have the 45T FSI, which is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine making 261 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. All of this is mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, and it gets a pretty good 24 miles per gallon in the city, 32 on the highway, and 28 combined. Now, the V6 that is offered in the 55T FSI is more appropriate for a luxury car, but I have no complaints with the standard engine. If you are generally a slower driver, then you should probably go for this engine because, first of all, it's quite a bit cheaper than the V6, and it gets a lot better fuel economy. So you can drive pretty slow while getting good fuel economy in this Audi A6. Of course, I would go for the V6 because that's just more refined and it's just a little bit more fitting of a luxury sedan. So if you're comparing this to the Mercedes E-Class and BMW 5 Series, you'll know that they both offer 2 engine options as well. The standard engine is going to have 6 less horsepower than this A6, but the V6 is going to have 40 more horsepower. So if you want the maximum performance, go for the E-Class or the 5 Series. Audi also offers the S6, which is a sportier version of the A6. That will have better sounding exhaust, better brakes, and an upgraded transmission. Also, you get 444 horsepower. And if you want the maximum, the RS6, that's only available in a wagon configuration. That will have 591 horsepower. So while I was talking about that, we went up a pretty big hill with the pedal all the way to the metal, and this 4-cylinder and the quattro all-wheel drive handled it just fine. So let's get one last acceleration test before we wrap up this video. We're going to be arriving at the Audi dealership soon, so I want to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. The A6 is an amazing choice in 2024, and I don't understand why it's so underrated. You have plenty of space, you get good engine options, and it's pretty luxurious. Now, if you want to go ahead and buy an A6, I recommend Audi of Ann Arbor. Be sure to ask for Rod because he is a super nice guy, and I definitely would recommend working with him. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and be sure to check out my in-depth review if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.